anyways, but yeah. Hey there, hi there, ho there, everybody, and welcome to the Two Tired Dudes podcast. On this episode, I'm going to be crashing my microphone into everything, but on top of that, we will be discussing our favorite birthday memories. Hopefully, I have some people coming on today. The reason why we're picking birthday, though, is because it's my birthday this week coming up. Woo! The pig's turning another year older. It's going to take place on Thursday, which we're going to be doing our first 24-hour stream. Last year I did a 16-hour stream, so really it's not that far of a stretch. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not going that much further. I'm just joking. I will probably be extremely exhausted. We will have lots of great redemptions, which are already released to the Discord page. More of a reason why you should be joining. If I'm smart and I do all my proper editing as I make these witty jokes, Discord links will pop up, YouTube pages will pop up, whatever the case that I'm talking about will pop up. Again, huge shout out to Jesse, JW, whatever you guys know him as now. He gave me some feedback that really helped me. I'm going to take a little more time editing. I I should have spent more time on it. I totally understand where he was coming from with his feedback, like just say like I could have done a little bit better, for example, like just lining up the video of that game clip, when I was talking about it. um, I know I did with a few parts in that podcast, but there was definitely some more I could have done a better job with. So keep giving that feedback, keep letting me know what you guys think. I think it was a really neat idea that he had, and I definitely want to perfect it so that it kind of goes to that vision that he had in mind. Because I like it. I mean, it's true. I've been watching more and more YouTube videos, and I get what he means. You don't see a lot of people, um, you know, firing off either a picture, a website, whatever the case is. Sometimes they just talk about something, and you're just expected to take that, conversation and YouTube it, Google it, or whatever, and find it on your own. So, yeah, if I can make that a little bit easier and create that visual for you guys a little bit better, then why not? I mean, it's worth the extra time. So, again, apologies. Um, Obviously, this week is a special kind of week, but normally I'm going to try my best to edit from Wednesday all the way till, let's say, Saturday. Saturday's fair. Let's do Wednesday to Saturday for editing, depending how long this podcast goes on for, right? Because some of them are like 3 hours. And yeah, I will have it released probably in the Saturday afternoon, early Sunday, and it'll be available on Spotify for you guys to enjoy, or YouTube, whichever one you want to watch it on. Yeah, so that's my big spiel about all that. On the other side of the fence, I just wanted to apologize to everybody. I haven't been me for quite a while, and I'm not gonna dig deep and get this big splah but and all. But um, first and foremost, I'm incredibly sorry that I did not make a post. Um, Something just to notify you guys that hey, the podcast wasn't gonna happen for next week. Um, I let the Discord community know, but I didn't tell you guys. What I did do was I did stream, thinking that would kind of, make up for it. But I should have been a little more professional and actually told you guys that there wouldn't be a podcast that week. So I do apologize. Um, for a lack of better words, it's just been kind of crap. Like just I've always had like mental health struggles. But I feel like this year has just kind of kicked my stress into high gear. um, my own like confidence is very low, and not like low as I'm insulting myself, but like low as in like I just feel like I'm never getting ahead, and I'm just adding more and more and more and more to that pressure bar, whether it's money, whether it's my job, whether it's being there more for my mom and Cheyenne and anyone else in my life. I just Yeah, I just feel like, I can, no matter how fast I'm climbing that ladder, I'm not reaching the top. And it's just very frustrating and defeating. It has nothing at all, by the way, to do with streaming or my podcasting or my content creating. I mean, yeah, I always want to put more effort into it, but it's not something that's making me sad. I've never been the kind of person, like I said right at the get go, right? Like my first video I put on YouTube, that my goal is obviously to make this into a career. I'm not gonna shit around the bed with that one. You know what I mean? Like that's my goal. Like yes, if I could become a full time content creator, hell yeah, I'm dropping my job, I'm going to part time, and I'm putting all my effort and energy into this. that's a given. I'm sure most people would agree on that. That's just the dream, the fantasy. But for now, the humble side of me is just happy making new friends and happy connecting with other people and watch people grow their communities and become more successful. And I'm finding more success and happiness in that than I am, going, okay, I made $400 this year. Now I'm gonna make 800. Like that's not the route to go. I'm also not the kind of guy that will ask for subs. Nothing against anyone that does. Like, I think it's a great marketing scheme. It's not what I'm about. I would much rather have your follow than your sub any day of the week. Because a follower is going to be someone that's going to hype you up, and in all honesty, let the advertisements, make the money for me. I'm happy with that. The more viewers you have, right, the more advertisement time. Like, that's an easy. I don't know. To me, that market makes more sense than just trying to beg people for money all the time. And not saying that's what people do, right? I'm just saying in my philosophy, right, in my mindset, that's why I don't do it. For anyone else that does it, like, hats off to you. You guys come with some fantastic ideas that I would never think of. Yeah. So anyway, that's my long jibber jabber about that one. Uh, I've just for myself, I don't know, just really kind of been a mess, and it's just been really hard. I hate it too because like I'm angry like all the time, like I'm angry because things at work that aren't going right. It's not towards anybody. I mean, maybe the higher ups, I'm kind of pissed off at, but as far as like store level goes or anyone within my rank, and stuff like that, there's nothing against any of them. It is literally just head office that kind of annoys the crap out of me because they're just childish men. You know what I mean? Like, just can't fucking own up to their shit sometimes. It just drives me insane, and I hate that you have to always kiss their butts and just be happy with that. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's not right and it's not fair. Like, if I made a mistake, no problem. I'm gonna apologize for it. I'm gonna, go ahead and improve upon that. But if they make a mistake, it's like nothing. Not even apology, not even ownership of that mistake, right? It's like I'm asking you to go on national television and say, I made this boo boo, but like at least just, send me an email back going, you're right, my bad. Here's, the actual solution to the problem or whatever the case is that we're talking about. I don't like bitching about work, okay? Sorry. But like, I just want to kind of let you guys know my headspace with things. I usually say these for 101 with Mindful Pig, but I mean, hey, it's the start of the podcast. I usually do update you guys. So yeah, I am trying my best this week to be a lot more engaged and enthusiastic. Trying to be more like the pig that you guys know and love. But it's still some rough days. It's definitely still some rough days. But yeah, again, incredibly sorry. And hopefully, this week you guys will see that energy and be happy with what I'm putting out. If you know what I'm saying, and hopefully you guys are excited for my 24-hour stream because I really am. This is a big step for me. So, besides that, we also got the Worms tournament that's coming up. If I haven't told you guys about that before, we're gonna do the game Worms again. Hopefully, there's a video popping up at this moment. We're gonna be playing that one. We're gonna have we're gonna have one round of all the PC players, and they're gonna go at it. And Z-Chick was nice enough to make little trophies for me, so I'll be giving those out to the best PC player. And then that Monday, coming up afterwards, we're going to be doing the PlayStation round of the best. And there's going to be a PlayStation trophy. And for both sides, PC and PlayStation, there'll be one special trophy called the most devious. This will be the one that, backstab the most. And like a lot of people, not a lot, I should say, but like a few people ask, like, "Well, how are you gonna gauge that?" It's like you'll know, okay? When it's like a game of Risk. When the Risk is done, there's that one guy everyone looks at and goes like, "You fucker, you motherfucker," like they just backstabbed you. Like if this was my family and we were playing right now, it would definitely be my cousin Jason. He is such a little shit disturber. It's so funny playing games with him. Shout out to Jason. Yeah. He's the guy that's like whispered in your ear, going like, go ahead, kill them, knock that person out." Good times. But yeah, I'm sure we're gonna have the same thing in Worms. So yeah, so we got the birthday, we got the Worms tournament. I'm gonna keep it on the DL still, but I'm gonna be discussing a charity idea I have. With the basement gaming community. I'm gonna discuss it in the boardroom. Which, by the way, yes, Mano26 is officially a mod in our Discord community and a mod on my Twitch streams. If you're listening to this 26 right after this, because usually I have more time on a Tuesday, I am going to be upgrading your status. I am so sorry you had to wait. Like I said, it's just been a rough week. Please, 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 please forgive me. It is nothing to do with you, or like I said, I'm just not in the best headspace, and that's kind of not a good thing to be in when you're trying to run a community of Twitch streamers and support everybody. I should have been more level-headed and made sure these things were taken care of. So again, I'm sorry you had to wait so long. Here's the official announcement. He's also our viewer of the month that we had recently. So for those of you that don't know, viewer of the month is basically one random person that gets picked who follows me on Twitch. You can pop on my stream once, twice, a million times. It doesn't really matter. Everyone gets a chance to win. So basically, every single follower I have on that list at one point will win the gift card, unless they're a bot. I mean, let's face it, we have a few of those so every now and then. But yeah, every other person will have a chance to win that gift card. They'll also get a shout out, obviously, on the YouTube channel. They'll get a shout out on the Twitch stream that it took place on. They'll get a shout out on Twitter, and they'll get a shout out on Discord. Lots of shouting. I I should probably do one on Mushroom too. I should have it like on all my social media, kind of give a little more awareness. But yeah, so 2-6. They said yes, Mano, or who was your Apex name you had now? See, that's the hard thing. He has a different name, like on so many different platforms. Um, was it Reality? I'm so sorry, 2-6. I'm drawing a blank. Load the clip. But yeah, realist. That's what it was. See, I just had to think about our Apex match. Yeah, realist is his other name he goes by too on PlayStation. Sorry for Apex. God, that was butchered right at the end there. Sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, so back to the boardroom. So I will be doing a charity event. I'm just not too sure yet how I'm going to execute it. I know exactly what I want to help, um, what I would do to offer that help. Now it's just figuring out, okay, how do I take it to the next level, right? Like, how do I get from step 1, step 2 to the final step 3? So yeah, I'll discuss that with Discord, see what they think of too, and come up with. Um, yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, eh? Other than that, I've discussed it many times, right? As we get closer to September, we are going to start up the September event where I will be eating something in mass quantities for your subs. So back to the sub conversation. This one, okay. The reason why I like to do this one is because it's actually like an event already on Twitch. You know what I mean? Someone's already getting a discount for their subs, and I think it's really cool because I think it's based on how many months or is it years that they sub for. I think it was months that they picked. So to me, like that was cool. That was worth it. Okay, there's a discount being offered. The discount's higher for as long as they've been subbed. So if someone's willing to spend that money during that month, I want to make it worth their while. So that was my idea to hype it up. I had a Christmas one, but again, I have to execute that one a lot better. Hmm. Maybe I'll make that one a YouTube event this year. Maybe I'll switch it up. I'll have one for Twitch, one for YouTube. But anyway, yeah, so we'll have our September event. I think, in all honesty, I'm going to go with tacos. I'm either going to go with tacos or chicken because I'm feeling confident about both. Now, tacos, I feel confident with, but it is a lot of bread. That is a lot of, fillers in there. Whereas chicken, like I could just grab a bucket of 30-piece chicken and like I feel like I could take that on. I'm I'm more confident with chicken. I don't know why, but something about chicken tells me I could do it. I was really confident with burgers too, and that proved to be my downfall because the burgers were a lot more to eat than I thought it was going to be. And then this year I'm not gonna drop the ice cream. That was so embarrassing. I can't believe that right at the end. Just kind of, I care why I was showing it. I think there was something goofy going on. I had to show it on camera, and yeah, as I was showing it, the ice cream just slid and fell right out. I was so upset. After all that work, that dessert was just the thing I was looking forward to. So that was a slap in the teeth. Um, And then yeah, so then we have our award show after that. So basically, right after September ends, probably actually, in all honesty, I'll start hyping it up in July, and then as I trickle down, we'll focus more on September, and then as we get to October, then it'll be like boom, okay, full gear. We're gonna talk all about the award show. I will be having polls up. I will be doing more reaction videos. Anything I can do to help basically boost everyone up. I think last year we just made basement gaming, right? It was just kind of getting its feet wet, so I guess some people were shy and some people didn't want to do this and that, right? But this year I think we have definitely a more engaged community. People have gotten to know one another. So this year I'm excited. Like I'm excited to see what the voting is going to turn out to be. I think we're going to have some real surprise winners this time around. Because like I said, like shout out to Jesse, okay, or JW. I know he has hopped into a few people's streams, so I'm really interested to see what his votes are going to be like. I'm excited to see what Pizza's votes are going to be like. 2-6 as well, right? Another new community member. Because last year, like I said, the people that were voting, I was like, okay, I know your personality, I know what you're gonna like, and I was pretty bang on with all their picks. There was a few that still surprised me, but most of them I kind of knew. But yeah, like this year we have some wild cards, so I'm down. I'm down to see what everyone's gonna pick, and I think the best part is just gonna be handing out those awards afterwards. Because I know some people will be kind of shocked that they got one. I'm all about that, right? Like I mean, everybody to me is that underdog. Like not like they're not a B way, but I just be like like I'm literally rooting for them all. So it's gonna be really exciting, regardless who gets picked. I know I'll definitely get really excited, and hopefully this year I don't do my what do you call it? My voice, I guess. I don't know. Cheyenne point out something, and like now every time I watch that video, I'm like, screw you. Like I cannot watch that without like just thinking of what you said. Like like it's funny, and obviously it makes me laugh every time. But just like it's like if you have like a face twitch or like you do something with your face, and someone points it out, and it's like after that you're just like I'm so self conscious of this now, you bugger. um, yeah, so hopefully this year I'm a little more calm, I guess. I think I was really anxious last year doing it. It was like I was hyped, I was ready to do it, and then the minute I sat in front of that camera, my confidence went pew, and I was just trying to rush through that bugger as fast as possible. So yeah, this year I'll definitely have to. I don't know. Maybe I should have an energy drink beforehand. Like as dumb as that sounds, like energy drinks make you feel really happy. What I really wish they did have though was the old Bob Marley drinks. They had like what do you call it? Not caffeine, but like when you want to take away like decaffeine. Like I don't know what the term would be, but it was meant to relax you anyway. And like it was so good. Like I promoted that drink up until the day I couldn't find it anymore. Like it was I don't know what the hell was in it, but it literally relaxed my whole body. Like my muscles felt good. My brain just felt like, like I was ready for bed. And like, oh, it was such a beautiful feeling. And I remember drinking those every chance I could. They were a little expensive, like $4 to $5, but like it worked. And I'm one of those people like, I will pay a price for something as long as it's gonna, produce what I want it to. So if it's I want to go to sleep and this product's guaranteed to put you to sleep, then I don't mind paying 5, 15, 20, 30, $50 for it as long as it's gonna work. Example, I get this $70 lotion from Clinique because it actually like makes my face feel soft and it you know it takes away my what do you call it dark under eyes, and like if I have acne and like yeah, you'll know I have a pimple, but you know what I mean. Like it also kind of covers it up a little bit. Um, I don't know what the hell is in it. It's like super lotion, let me tell you. But it does an amazing job. I've even used it when I've had a cut, and like no word of a lie, that cut is healed like 10 times faster. It is ridiculous. Whatever they put in there is yeah, just fantastic. And I don't even want to know what they put in there. Okay, all I want to know is that it works fantastic. Say fantastic one more time, mindful. um, Yeah. Oh my god, I just draw a brain fart. I can't remember how we got into the conversation about expensive products, but oh, let's see. What have I done for the last 2 weeks now? Let's do a real big recap. Okay, well I guess first shout out if you didn't know us already, YouTube, Mushroom, and Twitter. I posted some yard sale finds that I've been going to recently. Finally had to go. Finally had the chance to actually do some yard sale shopping. After Lordy, it must be a good like 10, 15 years since I went yard sale shopping. So it's been a great experience. Actually, you know what? It's been an okay experience. I'm not gonna say it's been great. It was cool going up to them. It was cool the interactions and all that, but I didn't find much, which was kind of depressing. I only found like a few things for my mom. I found a few things for Cheyenne. I even found a few things I thought would be cool to do giveaways for, but like I didn't really find anything for me. The last time we went yard sale shopping with my mom on Saturday, I did find like one video game for $1, but like Call of Your Horses, it was fucking NHL 2016. You know what I mean? So it probably already would have been $1. I did come across another yard sale which I wanted to buy games from, but this like little bugger had them at $10 a piece. And you could tell. Yeah, like I was like, yeah, maybe I can haggle a little bit. Like I don't want to haggle, but like I did want them. So I was like, what if I sell buy four of them? Would you throw in one free kind of deal? But he was just sitting there, cocky as fuck. You know what I mean? Just looking at me, looking at the games. And I was like, yeah, you're not gonna budge. I'm gonna hear the whole goddamn sob story of how you bought this when it was brand new and it was $100. Like I get it. Like we've all had a yard sale. You know what I mean? Um, but like like that's the whole point of yard sale shopping, man. You gotta bite the bullet. Some things you're gonna be giving away for practically free. Some things you'll make a decent dollar on. But yeah, old 360 games that like gave a dime a dozen, probably not gonna make a decent dollar off that. The only one I really wanted was The Witcher 3, actually. That was the one he had in that pile that I really wanted. I have The Witcher 3 for the Xbox 360, but it was for Xbox One. I just wanted to have another copy of it. Even though I haven't played the first one yet, but I'm just that kind of person. Like, you know? If they're like okay, Red Dead 1 is a perfect example. I have Red Dead 1 on the 360, and I have Red Dead like not was it remastered or whatever it is. It's the one that has like both editions, like the complete edition, whatever you want to call it. But I have that one for the Xbox One as well. And in all honesty, I love Red Dead 2. I have that on Xbox One. I will probably end up getting it for the PlayStation as well, just because I love Red Dead Redemption. Yo, hey JW, how's it going, buddy?
Is it the podcast right now? Or
Yeah, I do the podcast right now.
okay, I wasn't sure. I didn't see the notification for it.
Yeah, sorry, I was just kind of doing my whole like spiel at the beginning, and then I was gonna pop up a notification for you guys.
Okay, no problem.
How's your week been, though, buddy?
Very good. A bit occupied, but good.
Yeah. Have you done any gaming recently?
Yes, I only game at Final Fantasy 16 right now.
Oh, nice. Are you like close to finishing it, or
No, I'm like
no?
50 to 60 hours in, and I'm like at half of the game.
Holy, that's a decent chunk already.
Yeah.
Is your opinion still the same about it? Like, are you still really hyped about the game?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It will definitely be my game of the year. Um, There's just a lot to like about it. But I'm a big action video game guy, so it's right up my alley. It's not the typical Final Fantasy experience nor writing, so it's a great change, I find. There are a bit, good chunks that are long. It can be long, like the pacing can be very weird, but in general, it's probably its biggest misstep.
Not bad. Really high praise. Holy. No, I'm glad you're enjoying it that much. Um,
Well, the other thing I have to say is that, you know, when I was a kid and I would think of like my dream game, uh, th- I imagined something like this game, like Final Fantasy 16. So I might be biased here on that count as well, but it, I find it really awesome. There's this, there's a lot to talk about it, but I think it's really worth it. The story and characters are awesome. The gameplay I find awesome, but people have to be ready for that. It's different than the typical Final Fantasy experience.
I was gonna ask you actually. I don't know if you played a lot of the other ones or not, but would you like, in obviously in your own opinion, right? Has this been like the best Final Fantasy that you played so far?
It's hard to say, but it's certainly one of my favorites.
That's still pretty good. That's pretty high praise, considering how many
Yep.
there is. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, well, that's
Like I really like of course 7, the original 7, the 8. A lot of people hated 8, but I really liked 8 even though it was a bit weird. Um those are probably my favorites of the Final Fantasies if I think back, cuz I've played like most of them. There's a lot of them. Um but in terms of what I have better memories of, it's probably those two games.
yeah. I was actually really excited. I think I saw 8 on the PlayStation Plus menu. I know I definitely saw 7, the remake on there, so I can actually play them and have an honest opinion of those games.
Yeah, there there's a good amount of Final Fantasy on the in the library, in the
Yeah.
PlayStation library, and the other ones right now have a deal for low cost, so it's a good time to get them.
Oh, okay, that's tempting.
I didn't play the remake though. I'm too attached, I think, to the original, and I don't want to. With what I've heard, I'm not sure I would like it. So
I get that. Like, I think it was you, me, and Christ, I can't remember the other gentleman's name now in Super Show. But we were talking about Diablo 2. That's kind of the impact I had. Like playing that remaster kind of ruined the nostalgia for me. I was like, okay, maybe it wasn't as great as I remember. Like there was still like a lot of amazing parts. Don't get me wrong, but there was just a lot of dated. They did stuff in the game that you're like, okay, yeah, they really could have changed this, or this doesn't fit for this timeline. Like the inventory system, that one honestly drove me bananas. But
but that's a bit different here for Final Fantasy VII because it's a remake,
yeah,
and so in terms of gameplay, I had played the demo, and I liked it, but I wasn't thrilled by it, so I wanted to wait for a sale. And then when I heard about some story differences of about certain things, it didn't it didn't make me want to get it. So
yeah,
uh, so I don't know. It's the whole remake thing as well that I'm tired of remakes in general. So
yeah. No, I agree with you. Like that's kind of what I was thinking of too. Is you're obviously really attached to the first story. Like I mean, I was too. I played the old Final Fantasy 7 as well. So yeah, to kind of I don't know, like that one was very impactful. It was very well done. And now to like like you said, even if it's just a few changes here and there, like I don't know if I would take it in as well as maybe someone who's
I,
brand new to the series, right? Like playing Final Fantasy 7 for the first time.
it's more like you have this iconic story, and then you're gonna take it, and just to make it as iconic as the previous one, you're gonna change everything that made it iconic. It's a bit backward, the logic, right?
I agree. No, yeah, 100%.
But remakes constantly do that though. It's so weird. Well, I know actually I think I know why. I mean, I think the theory is that we're going to take what most of it that we think made it iconic, but we're going to make it by different people and make a new twist to bring more people into it, thinking that it's an older thing. People might not be able to get into it.
Yeah, I agree. It's almost like, and I don't know if you was the same for you, but when you're in the schoolyards, right, you kind of made up your own little theory with your friends on where the story was going. That's kind of what kind of feels when they do these remakes or remasters.
That's true, yeah.
um, but yeah, look, I know you brought up a Discord too, and yeah, I really agree with you. I think before you got a remaster or remake, whatever the case might have been, every so often. It wasn't ridiculous, right? But like, yeah, now it's like, I don't know, a good what, 5, 6, maybe 10 a year at this point. They're either being talked about or in development or will be released this year. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm with you. Like, I miss the originality. Like I know we talked about it before, but it's not that far back, but I look at my 360 library, right? Like there's so many like brand new games or IPs that came out, or whatever the case might be. Yeah, you don't see that nowadays. That's really becoming a shame because yeah, we need something
Oh,
different.
at the same time, look at the new releases this year, new IPs. What were they? Forspoken?
Yeah,
That was an excellent game. Uh, what was it? Redfall? That was another excellent one. I mean, all the new IPs this year did not were a huge bet and ended up being horrible. So I can't see why they would want to assure not take risks and have good bets, but it stifles the industry by doing that.
yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I said the worst part is too is like, I mean, obviously those ones might be a little different, but I hate when like a game was actually good. You know what I mean? And then it doesn't get that recognition for like years to come. Not saying for Spoken
Yeah,
and all that will be, but
no, they won't.
but yeah, it would be a shame to see, like I said, like an actual good game come out that doesn't get the recognition it actually deserved. And
Well, it's interesting because Final Fantasy 16, from what I can gather, it's mixed reviews right now. Like half of the people hate it and half the people like it, and I'm not sure why. Because like I really like it, and I would expect I don't expect everybody to get into it, but I expected a higher number of people that either liked it or loved it. So I'm surprised with this, actually.
yeah, I'm surprised too. I don't know. Again, it could just be the people I associate with, right, on Twitter and stuff. But most of the comments I've seen have all been positive. Maybe like one or two I see were negative, but most people kind of have the same reaction as you do. Like this is a great experience. This is something that they were waiting a long time for. Yeah,
It is like it does have like the best scenes or parts you will get to play in a video game. I think for a long time, or because there are specific scenes that are extremely awesome, and that's why I say the pacing is weird because you'll have good chunk of nothingness or padding
yeah.
between these moments, which it it just breaks the flow a bit. But I don't want to say anything, but you have the two types of gameplay. You have the humanoid type of gameplay, so the Devil May Cry action type of gameplay where you have a bunch of skills that you can switch up between and mix combos and stuff.
Oh, okay, okay.
And you have the what they call icons, which are based. It's basically kaiju mode, where they transform into these giant uh, beasts or monsters, and then they battle each other. And you have gameplay moments of that as well. That is just awesome and just amazing set pieces, beautiful game with no bugs. I have to say, I didn't get any bugs as of yet.
I mean,
Extremely stable, and I've been playing on the quality graphic modes, and I haven't been noticing the any drops. So
as I say, if I wasn't sold on the game already, like I'm smiling ear to ear just hearing the fact that you become giant monsters and fight. Like that's pretty, that's really awesome. Um, yeah, that's really good with the quality mode because I mean that has been a big issue this year too with a few games, right? So it's nice to hear that one game out there is making it.
Yeah. And they've added, there was a big thing about motion blur, and they've added an option to take it off if you don't want it. So that's cool as well.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Um, I haven't tried it yet either, but the other one that I'd say that I've seen a lot of positive reviews on, which made me kind of happy, was Diablo 4. But I still want to actually give that game a shot and see what it's about. But yeah, no, again, another one I've just seen non-stop positive reviews about, which is good because Diablo 3 wasn't in the same boat, so it's nice Diablo 4 is
Yeah,
good.
no, I'm glad as well because after I didn't play Diablo Immortal, but with the whole monetization part, it really like put me off of any Diablo titles that would ever come out. And so people were saying I'm excited for Diablo 4. And I was like, I'm going to wait to see how they monetize this because I don't trust them. And I'm glad to hear that it doesn't seem to be like Diablo Immortal. Like it seems to be an actual game.
Yeah, I mean, I get they were just trying to scratch that Diablo, itch that everyone had. But yeah, I don't think we really needed a mobile game for that one. It almost reminded me of like when they released, what was that game called now? Dungeon Master. Um, we didn't get like a PC game for such a long time, and then we got that shitty mobile game. And it was the same idea too. Like everything just cost money in that game to do. It was just
What? Don't you guys have phone?
or Dungeon.
That was Blizzard's answer to your statement.
That's true, right? Yeah, it was Dungeon Keeper. That's what it was called, Dungeon Keeper. That was the game.
I don't think I know that.
No, it's like okay, like the PC games were really neat. It was basically you were the devil, and you had to break out of these mazes that you were in, and the people that were guarding the mazes were either the angels or the gods, if you want to call them. And you start off with like a little hell pit, and you basically spawn imps, and then you could spawn like demons, then you could spawn like these huge black knights and stuff like that. Like basically Command and Conquer, but with Hell's Army, and it was so neat and so cool. And the cinema scenes were
So you're not talking about Overlord, right?
no. But he's kind of like a similar idea to that, except it was more like Command and Conquer style.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it was really neat. But yeah, again, same idea. They went rogue for quite a while, and then when they came back, they decided to make a mobile game, and it's like, hey, let's charge you for everything now.
Great.
um, yeah. Um, the other way I was talking about was I don't know if you played it or not, but I was revisiting Oxenfree again because it was on sale on Switch for $2. Which then I don't know why it slipped my mind, but I totally forgot there's going to be an Oxenfree 2 coming out. So I am excited to play that one this year. That one's actually half off too for anyone that's interested. Not sure if it's just a Switch sale, if it'll be on all systems.
That's what I'm looking at right now because Oxenfree always interested me, but I've never played it. No, it's $3 on Steam as well, so I'm gonna get it.
Nice. Yeah, like I said it was, I don't know. I didn't hear much about it, so when I first played it, I didn't know what to expect. And like I said, I like the art style to it. But the neat part I found was as you get through that whole story, right, you experience everything you need to experience in the game, and you get to the end, you felt very satisfied. Like I was happy with the story. I was happy with how the characters played out. It had a nice like little horror element to it, which really went good with that game. But then you get the option to replay the game, and it just takes this complete different direction. The game is like aware that you're replaying it, so that was really cool. And
Oh, really?
yeah, and then I played it again on stream, and I was kind of talking about it. Right, and this other person hopped in, and they're like, "Oh man, if you like this," they're like, "Just get ready when you play it a third time." And I was like, "Shut up! Like, there's no way there's more to this game." And they're like, "Yeah." I think they were on their sixth playthrough, and there was still like new dialogue that they were getting. The story was getting more in depth with what was going on. Like it's always the same timeline, right? You're going to this island, and then when you reach the end of the game, but as you're going through it each time, apparently, he was telling me that yeah, the characters that you're playing as, they start to get that deja vu feeling, like haven't I said this line before, or I know the next thing you're gonna do is fall down this hill. So yeah, it's I don't know, it's really cool. It's really breaking that fourth wall. And I love it, right? So
Well, it's probably $3 right now because the second one is coming soon.
Yeah, yeah. I said on the Switch at least the second one was half off. I don't know if it'll be on Steam, but it'll be really interesting. I think when I read in the bio is
But
it's supposed to take place 6 years after the previous game ended.
it's not out yet, is it?
No, no, no. I think I guess like a pre-sale. You know what I mean? Like you can pre-order it.
Oh, it's out tomorrow.
Is it? Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Well, there you
Yeah.
go.
So that's cool for you. You've already finished it. You'll be all ready for. Hey, it's published by Netflix.
Is it really?
Well,
Wow.
the second one. Yeah, only the second one is published by Netflix.
That's cool. Okay, so the first Netflix game I'll get to play.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, now I'm excited to actually see. I wonder if they've changed a lot between the first and second game. As long as the art style is the same, I'll be happy because I thought that was a really neat art style. The only thing is, you might know this, Jesse, because you watched a lot of the Super Show as well. I think it was Jamie one time took like a little jab at the game, and it's totally fair. There are parts in this where you can kind of tell that adults were writing it, trying to be teenagers, right? Like kind of like how
Right.
Life is Strange did the Hella, right? They have their own little thing in this game too. I think it's like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember some cheesy line like "This is fire" or something lame like that. But they,
Oh, fire is fine.
yeah, but they'll say like so many times, you're like, okay, guys, like we get it. You're trying to be hip.
I don't know. There's some terms that are worse than others. Like hella was
Yeah.
cringing to my ears compared to fire. Like I couldn't get over it.
Yeah, Life is
Reverse
Strange really dragged that one out.
I know. Everybody loves Life is Strange.
home,
I
Max.
actually couldn't
Thanks,
get into
Chloe.
it.
Hey,
Just
give me that.
I don't. The dialogue was just not
That's Rachel
not good.
Amber.
I found
Obviously,
maybe
she
the
was a
the,
good
the
friend.
choices and all that was interesting. I don't know. I didn't
She was my angel.
play enough of it, but
Something happened to her.
The writing of it just really turned me off.
Where did you get Rachel's
Like I'm
bracelet?
with you. Like
Give
when
it
I
to me
first
right
played it,
now,
I wasn't
asshole!
really
You better
into
step
it.
back
I think
before
I
you
watched
regret it,
Cheyenne
girl.
when she was like halfway through the game.
You don't
and
know who you're messing
as
around
bad as
with.
might be, it is one of those games where you have to play halfway through before it gets good. But then
Oh yeah,
You
well
can
I
rewind
won't.
time.
Yeah.
I'll just
That's
watch it.
insane. We
yeah,
have
right.
to
No, I
play.
was the same way. Yeah, I was watching her, and yeah,
I know
it's,
I'm not dreaming this.
I won't ruin it, but anyways,
I
it
hope I
gets
did
closer to
everything
the
right
end.
this
There was a
time.
lot of like nice twists, and even the level
I want to
design.
spend every
behind
minute
kind of
we
the
have
game
together
was really good. It was
having fun.
like one
I've got my power to
close
protect
to
you,
the end,
right?
also, level was a lot
The
like
dark
Far Cry
ray.
3.
What does this even mean?
When you're
What are
in your
you
own
doing
mind,
here,
and
Max?
bosses like
He's hiding shit.
taunting you as you're walking through that. It was kind of like
We
a
have
lot
to
like
find
that
her,
with
Max.
psychic reality. Yeah, it was,
So we
that
could
part was
get
kind
real
of,
justice.
it was unexpected. Like, you start off the game,
This
you're
feels
taking
like the
a
end of the
freaking
world.
butterfly out of a mop pail or whatever the hell it is, and then it gets into that. And yeah, just the character, the bad guys or characters at the end were really neat. I thought that one was pretty neat. But the beginning, I'm with you. The beginning was quite a drag. Even number two, I know Z-Chick was really passionate about that one because she was able to relate a lot to it. But I just I don't know, I couldn't get into that one either. I tried both of them.
I didn't. I don't know the second. Like I don't know how many of them there are now, but I don't.
I think there's three.
It's only the first one.
Yeah, I think there's three now. The second one's like two brothers that have. I think one brother has the ability to use telekinesis, and then the third one, from what I remember, is the girl has the ability to see everyone's like auras, and if they're feeling pain, then everything around her becomes like pain. They're happy, right? Everything around her is like sunshine and happiness. So that was kind of a cool
Right.
concept.
Does she do aura massages or?
No, she just like I guess she uses that to like get her advantage in the game or whatever. So
Oh yeah. I'm just joking.
no, I know. um,
Because it's something I heard about, that there is an actual thing called aura massages where they just massage the air around you.
oh, totally. Do you not remember? I don't know if you watched it or not, but did you ever see Friends back in the day?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, Phoebe would always do that, right? Where she'd be like, "Oh, the aura is just terrible around here," and she'd be like plucking
Yeah,
it
yeah,
out.
but again, that was a show. What I'm talking about is a serious business
Oh
that
yeah, no, I
is
believe
actually going on.
Oh.
But I saw Friends when I was a kid, so there's a lot that I don't remember, but there's a lot that I do remember. Phoebe was actually my favorite character, one of them.
I know, yeah, she was really good. I liked the role that she played.
Yeah.
It was so weird seeing her movies afterwards because it's hard to kind of take her serious. Because I know a few movies that she did, she was like, more of a serious role in them, and I was like, nah, you're still Phoebe to me. I was gonna ask you though, do you like any other kind of story games? Like I'm usually pretty big into them. Like I've talked before, I like Telltale games, and I do like that whole was it Dark Anthology series? Those ones are pretty good, but I never heard you talk about any of those yet, Jesse.
um, it depends. I do, but over the years, I've come to like them less and less.
Okay.
And I'm not sure why. I guess I've started to like them again because I've been doing them with my fiance, so it's a fun time. But I used to, do them alone, and the more it went on, the more didn't like doing them. And I'm referring to the Telltale ones.
Okay.
The last one I really liked was Until Dawn. That was awesome, and then I redid it multiple times with friends, with my fiance, with you know was really well written. Not necessarily in terms of dialogue or it's a great story or anything, but the pacing and how everything is going on is just so perfectly made because it feels short and you can redo it over and over multiple times, and it just feels really good compared to, let's say, The Quarry, which it's a better written, I would say, story and dialogues and characters, but somehow the experience feels much longer, feels um, maybe, I don't want to say, there's just something missing compared to, let's say, Until Dawn had. And the anthology things, well, we liked the boat one. I mean, it was the twist was obvious from the start, but it was still fun to do.
Yeah.
Then we started the Little Hope one, I think, where it's a bit like Silent Hill, where everything is um, all in fog and there's witches and I don't know what. We didn't finish that one, and then we stopped doing the anthology because we just never finished that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think there's two more after that. I think there's like The Devil in Me or something. I did play the boat one you mentioned too. Man of Medan, I think it is, or Medan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that one was. I always I like that one is because it totally reminded me of the horror movies that I actually enjoy. Like they're not
yeah,
cheesy.
me too.
They're not cheesy, but they are kind of cheesy. Yeah, so that was
Oh,
really
for sure. Yeah,
yeah, that was really neat. I do like the guy too that they bounce back and forth, like the one that was actually telling you the story. I don't know, when it came to like horror writers, I always enjoyed that one. Like Alfred Hitchcock was pretty good for doing that as well. I don't know. I like when someone's like reading the novel to you and it's like flashy back and forth. Um,
but I actually liked it more in the anthology series than in Until Dawn and The Quarry. Uh, Somehow it fitted better, these moments.
oh, they
Like
do.
in Until Dawn, it felt like this whole slasher movie, and then in between there were these weird bits of this psychologist, whatever, that didn't need to be there. Same thing with The Quarry, where there was this weird fortune teller in between that didn't need to be there, but in the anthology series, somehow it fitted more. I found.
Yeah, just like the way they, I don't know, the guy or the actor presented themselves every time they came in and out. It was almost like what's that movie? Rocky Horror Picture Show. It was almost like how that guy did it. It went well with the flow of the movie itself, or in this case, the game.
Yeah,
I have to
but
try.
to get back to your question,
Yeah,
another one that I actually really like, not because there was a lot of choices per se, just because I thought it was a fun experience, was the Beyond Two Souls game. I don't know if you've played it because it's a PS3 exclusive.
No, but I did I have it for PS3? I must have had it for PS3 because I do remember that game. I was always curious about it. Tell me what you thought.
Well, I really like the stories, and you get to control Aiden, this sort of spirit out of body thing. So it's almost like if you're playing the secondary character, or you're playing two characters essentially. One that is, the human one, Jodie, I think her name is, and this sort of spirit that follows her. And so you get to do all sorts of, telekinetic moves and stuff around them that creates all sorts of situations. Like there are choices, but they don't change that much the story. But I was fine with it because in general I like the character's story and all that.
I was trying to like understand the gameplay because I know I've seen like stuff of it. Is it similar to Heavy Rain's gameplay? Like, do you get to do a little more moving around and interacting with things, or is it more storytelling?
And it's both
Both.
because
Okay.
you're like I say, you get to play this out of body spirit thing. So your character Jodie will be talking to someone, let's say, and while she's talking, you'll be able, I don't know, to throw something in the man's face that she's talking to, or
That's cool.
just do stuff. You'll be able to protect her into a situation, etc., etc.
That's cool. Okay, I should see if I could get that on the PlayStation 4. I would like to play that.
Yeah. So those two games, Until Dawn and Beyond Two Souls, are the two last ones that I properly enjoyed just for what they were, and not because I necessarily enjoy these games where you get to do choices. Well, the other thing that was cool with Until Dawn actually is that if you missed, anytime you missed the or most of the time you missed the QTEs in Until Dawn, it will result into an incredible death scene for your character. So
Yeah, usually, yeah.
like you can kill somebody right at the start with just an icicle that falls from from the tree. And
That's awesome.
so it's super funny sometimes. They're you're playing, let's say, throwing the snowballs and all that, and then you see the icicle and you don't do anything, and then you expect that she'll get hit and she'll be fine, but no, she ends up completely being stabbed and everything. You're like, holy shit.
just,
So
just a final,
it's cathartic. It's fun.
say just like a Final Destination ending.
Sort of, yeah.
um,
So compared to, I think, the Quarry, where there's a couple of times where you miss the. I don't remember if it's the Quarry or the anthology series, but there's a couple of times where you miss the QTEs and it doesn't result into anything really.
oh, okay, like it kind of just pretends it didn't happen, or what?
No, like you let's say you fall down, but then you get back up and start running again, right?
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that. So, which is a bit disappointing, but like I say, the thing that's interesting with, well, I don't know if I should say this. Maybe I shouldn't. There's an interesting thing with the Quarry where you have moments where you can decide certain characters do certain things that end up being problematic, and then later on you end up finding potentially a way of uh, reverting these problems. And so it's this interesting thing of wondering, should I wait or should I kill them, or that isn't there in any other of these choice games, horror choice games. So
That's really cool.
that's really interesting.
Yeah, that's really cool, actually. I was gonna say because you were mentioning you also play with your fiance or friends as well. Um, how is the two-player? Like, is it actually you guys take turns with the controller, or is there actually like a two-player option in there? Because I do know some of them have that ability, at least online.
No, it's taking turns. Yeah.
Is it okay? No, that's pretty cool. There's a few I want to play as Cheyenne. Because I think
It's certainly a fun time to play with anybody, I would say. Yeah, I would say even more fun than when you're playing alone.
oh, totally right. Because they're not going to pick the same things you'll pick, so it might just completely change your whole like mindset of how that story's going now.
Or you know who's bad with QTE, and then when you know the controller ends up in this person, they have to run. It gets funnier, right?
That's true. Yeah. Kill off your favorite character.
Like in the query, we almost saved everyone, but my fiance killed someone by accident.
Oh, that sucks.
I still remind her to this day from time to time, just to tease her.
Yeah, I know we talked about it earlier there, but did you enjoy Heavy Rain as well, or did you not play that one?
Yeah, no, here's the thing. Heavy Rain is one of the first to do that, or one of the first that was very popular of to do that. It was my first game of that style.
That's
So
true.
I like Heavy Rain. My problem with Heavy Rain is mostly the convoluted story, but otherwise, I the whole mystery and the how the scenes were made and all that were cool. Some could have been shorter,
Yeah.
I didn't need to run around. What was the kid's name? Josh, I think, screaming Josh for like the
Yeah.
first third of the game. That was very long, but otherwise it was a pretty cool experience.
Oh, I love that people meme the crap out of that scene. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
Um,
I played a couple of episodes of The Walking Dead of the Telltale series, and then I got tired of it. And
like the first one, right? The first Walking Dead.
oh yes, I forgot. I keep forgetting. There's like more than one now, but
I know.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a ridiculous amount. Wow, that one you didn't like that story didn't stick with you a little bit. I did enjoy that one quite.
Oh, it stuck at first, but at some point, I don't know. It kind of got repetitive, and not necessarily gameplay wise. I mean, in the sort of situation you would end up in. It's sort of narratively wise.
That's very
It
true.
was. It got a bit repetitive and long.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, because I mean, it is a lot of rinse and repeat, right? Like you get to a safe zone, zombies find you, have to move on. Someone dies usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That one kind of blew it. What was the other one I was gonna
I
ask?
keep hearing about Wolf Among Us, but I haven't played
Yeah,
it. But apparently, it's really good.
that one is good. Just like because it was, I don't know, it was different to me. Again, another game I wasn't sure what to expect, and you walk into it and you get to play as the wolf. I believe it's the three pigs, but it's all these fairy tale animals. But you're actually the detective, and you're trying to solve. So it kind of gave me like Who Framed Roger Rabbit vibes. It was a lot like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah, just like funny little detective game to play. And then and just like seeing all the fairy tale characters too was really neat. Like the pigs are like kind of like out of shape, and they got like a cigarette in their mouth. Like it's a little edgy, but it worked with it. Um, Borderlands too, they had a pretty decent one, but that's because I like the whole Borderlands series. I know a few people didn't enjoy that one very much.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
I get it. Like for me, it was just that story. I like seeing what else they were doing with the characters.
Well, have you played Borderlands recently, or
Yeah, I played Borderlands 3.
because it's Borderlands 2? I played it when I was much younger with a friend, and we had a good time and all that. And recently, we've tried to replay it, and I don't know, we were really bored with it, and we didn't like it that much. So I was wondering if you had played it recently and had the same thing.
Oh yeah, I've tried at least I don't know 3 or 4 times now to go, okay, this is my playthrough. I'm actually gonna finish the game and do the campaign. And yeah, I fall off every time too. And I thought same as you. I thought, okay, maybe I need Cheyenne. Maybe I need a partner in this, to make it more exciting. And no, it definitely didn't hit the same way as the first three did. I know some people aren't fancy with the pre-sequel. I enjoyed that one. But yeah, pre-sequel 1, 2 definitely were a lot more entertaining, I found, than number 3 was. Which is disappointing because
Oh yeah,
it was such a long wait between the two games, right?
yeah.
It was just kind of, I guess why I'm kind of a little nervous too to try Dead Island 2 because everyone's like, it's kind of what you expect it to be. It's like, yeah, but it's not a bad thing if it is.
No, it actually looks much better than I thought. I was seeing the videos, and at first I thought, oh, it sound like the lines are don't make me laugh. They sound dumb, and the game I was like, oh, it seems repetitive. I don't know. And then I saw the Jamie and Jonesy from the Super Show played it, and it looked much better. The gameplay videos from the release product look much better than the trailers for me, so I got actually more interested once it released. So when it's on sale, I'll at some point buy it, probably on PC and play with my best friend.
Oh, okay, that's exciting. I'll have to check out their footage then. I didn't realize they had one posted of them playing Dead Island.
Oh yeah, well it was a live stream
Oh, okay.
on YouTube, and you can probably check them in the live stream section.
Yeah, no, I'll check that one out then. Thank you. Yeah, I know, like I loved the first one. I just like every zombie game before that, I didn't really find too many that had like the RPG mechanic, and like I don't know, that's my thing. If you add RPG mechanics into it, I'm usually sold. Because I don't know, it's just easy for me to understand, I guess. But yeah, like that first one, I spent so much time in that world. Like I said, I literally carried my save file from the 360 all the way to the Xbox One, and then I finally polished it off and finished it. Yeah. What was the other one I was gonna say again? Oh yeah. Did you also try What Remains of Edith Finch? I know Gabby and I were talking about that one a while back. We both really enjoyed that one, but again, I know that was a different take on the story mode, more like a walking simulator.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of walking simulator, so I heard it was that, and I didn't try it. But I hear the story is really good.
Yeah, like the story was really decent, but I mean, I get you. It's one of those games where you have to be okay with just holding the joystick pretty much and letting it do its thing.
It's just for me is that if you're gonna make a game, might as well do puzzles or something, just a small something, Otherwise, I can just watch it.
Yeah, and like literally, there were so many opportunities where it could have done stuff like that. In all honesty, um, who was the other one that took that approach? Like Layers of Fear. I like that one a lot better. How they did it there. There was still like a lot of story, a lot of cutscenes, but at least you got to interact with things along the way.
Yeah, I wish I could get into Layers of Fear. Here's the thing: it came at a time where there were so many games that were trying to do like Amnesia, that a first-person game where you can't defend yourself, and everything is weird around you, or to do like the what was it, PT demo,
Yep.
the Silent Hill demo. And so I had played and saw so many of those games that when Layers of Fear came out, on paper it would have been something that I would be into it, but when I played it, I was just like, oh, another game like this, and stopped midway. And I can't get into these horror games anymore because there's just so many of them. I'm just overloaded of those games.
I totally get that. I was gonna ask you. You might have answered this before, Jesse. Sorry if I don't recall. But which side do you prefer? Do you like the horror games where like you don't have any weapon or like that, you can't defend yourself, or do you like the ones like Resident Evil or Silent Hill, where you get the gun and you can go through the levels killing stuff?
So like I said, I used to like them. Um, big fan of Amnesia,
Yeah.
big fan of Penumbra, uh, which is made by the same people, I think, but that was before Amnesia. I might be
Oh,
wrong on this. Anyway,
okay.
big fan of Penumbra, Amnesia, and Soma. Um, but yeah, uh, uh, I've just played and seen too many like that. So I can't get into them anymore. Now I prefer the games where you can defend yourself because you can do more interesting stuff there, there- there's just more to do when you can defend yourself than just because these games they become predictable when you've played enough of them, right? You enter a room, oh, there's a cabinet, or a place uh, a place where you hang your clothes or something. You'll know you'll probably have to hide there once you take the key that is on the desk. So you take the key that is on the desk, you hear a roar, then you go hide, and So there's tropes like that, or gameplay elements between those games that are very similar and repeated. And it's not exactly their fault, it's just how this style works, right? Compared to, let's say, a game where you can defend yourself, where I think there's a lot more you can do in terms of strategy, in terms of, what to do when you're surprised and all that.
That's true. That's very true.
Like Resident Evil 4 was really good on that level. Once, even the first time came out, not just the remake, where you had all sorts of ways to deal with the zombies. Like you could, headshot them if you like, or you could shoot them in the knee to stun them and then kick them away. You could run around certain buildings, enter a house X that has this object, and so there's a bunch of stuff you can do while being scared, compared to, let's say, Outlast, where you have to get past this enemy, but you have to do it a certain way. That can't. You have to do it in a certain way, otherwise you get killed the same way every time. And so if you're stuck in a place, it just will always be the same thing, and it'll just get frustrating and not scary anymore.
That's 100% actually, because yeah, that's exactly why I fell off Outlast, the first one. It was one of those games I really wanted to play. I wanted to experience it all the way through, and I think I got, I don't know, maybe a quarter into the game, and yeah, there was this one like racetrack kind of level that I had to do, and I couldn't map out where I wanted to go quick enough with the guy that was following me, and it was just nonstop. It was just death after death after death, and I was like, okay, I've had it. It's like I'm done. I don't want to play this no more.
Yeah. Well, like I say, the reason Amnesia works so well is that it has these horror elements, but it forces you to go to places because of the intricate puzzle design they have. They have really good puzzle that forces you to go to places you don't want to go. And it's not just, oh, I have to walk through that hall. Why? Because the level is designed that way, because I have to. It's the only way to go. It's more, okay, I have this door. I know the key is probably in that room down there. I don't want to go. I hear there's weird stuff down there, but I have to continue. There's this, glimmer of an objective, I think, which is why it works so well.
Yeah, and I've heard a few people hype that game up, and just like listening to what you're saying too. I think I'll try that game one time on stream, because it'll definitely be one where I probably will need help. But just like I don't know, people always hype up that game quite a bit for its mechanics and, like you said, just level design.
Well, I mean, it was the one game that popularized this type of thing.
And, like, I'm not, am I wrong? But I think there's like what, 3 of them now that came out, or is there just 2 of them?
Yeah. No, there's actually 4 or 5 of them.
Wow.
There's like Amnesia Justine, which is a sort of it would be considered a DLC, but it's a side game.
Okay.
There's the Amnesia Machine for Pigs that wasn't very good. There's what was it? I think the Dark Descent.
Yeah.
No, I think that's the first one. The name of the first one. Anyway, there's a third one, which apparently wasn't very good as well, but I did not play it.
Still, wow,
And
that's way more than I thought there was.
and then there's the latest one that came out, which is Amnesia: The Bunker, I think.
Oh yeah, I can't remember that one.
And that one, I was really interested because you're basically stuck in a bunker and you have to find this. You have to find a way out, and you have that middle room that is a safe zone. Basically, you have a safe zone, and then you have to go outside that safe zone to investigate about the story, find a way out, the keys, and all of those stuff. So the design seemed more intricate and interesting, more in line with the first one than all the other three were. All the other three games seemed to be more this sort of corridor horror where you pick up the pages along the way to find the story, then you go to the next part. Through that hall there's a horror, you run, you hide. I think that was a problem maybe with A Machine for Pigs and Amnesia Rebirth. That's the third one, Amnesia Rebirth.
Yeah, Rebirth. Okay, I remember that time.
I didn't play Rebirth. I played the beginning of Machine for Pig, but I did not finish it. I was bored.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely have to see if I can find some of those on PlayStation just to try them out. Cause yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
fun.
Amnesia: The Dark Descent. You should play. It's really good game.
Like I said, like listening to everybody, like I said again, I had my own small group of friends, right, that I would talk to way back in the day about video games, and it was kind of just me for like 10 years by myself. So obviously, I was just on Xbox. I missed out on a lot of games and watching the Super Show, and now getting to talk to all you guys. There's so many you hear brought up, and I'm just like, yeah, I want to just experience it. I just want to see what that hype was. So that was definitely one of them. The other one that I talked to Jimmy about before was the Yakuza series. That's the other
Yeah,
one I want to kind of try out. Persona too. That one always gets talked about quite often, so I want to see what that game's about too.
yeah.
Even Metal
I
Gear.
wish I could get into those games, but I can't. The Persona and Yakuza are all games where you need to do all sorts of side activities, or the side activities are the main focus of the game. They're super developed and everything, but no, I can't get into, like, the mini games are well made and all, but I can't get into a game where it's all about the side content, all about the mini games more so than the rest. And because Yakuza, every time I hear parts of it, it seems awesome,
Yeah,
but then I play it and it doesn't reflect what I hear for some reason. It gets boring. Although they do a really good, they're a good visual representation of Japan. That's a cool thing.
that's
Of,
surprising.
like, I mean, the city that it's in.
Yeah, no, I catch you. Yeah, it's surprising. I didn't know it was all side content. I thought that was like whenever it was describing, I always thought that was the main quest you were doing. Like, wow, okay.
Well, the side content is all sorts of mini game, like oh, you do the bowling alley,
Okay.
you do the karaoke thing, and there's a main story that is super serious, but a lot of it is the side content as well that you're supposed to do, which it just doesn't. I'm not a fan of open worlds in general as well, so it's just not for me, I think.
I get that. No, I'm kind of the same way. I'm very particular about what open world games I actually
And
like.
I say Persona, but Persona is a bit different. The reasoning behind Persona, where I can get it to, actually, it's for the same reason. It's a lot of the side stuff, but
Okay.
it's part of the main thing, the main loop of Persona, where you need to balance out your relationship status with your companions, and by doing all sorts of stuff, going on dates with them, talking to them, uh, whatever, you upgrade those, and then it helps you get better stats and better skills and all that. So there's a lot of those side stuff you do if you want to do that, right? It's not necessarily part on your main thing. And so you have this main thing, the main story or whatever, is often, in the second part of the loop where you go dungeon hunting, let's say. But the other half of the main game loop is all about that side stuff you do. I'll go cook with Yamuza or whatever, right?
Oh, okay.
Which is the daytime, the school time, where you get with all your students, and it's all about friendship and all that.
Okay, yeah, definitely a little more different. I don't know why. I gotta like, I don't know, just maybe the explanations I was getting. I always thought it was like heavily like RPG based or something like that.
Oh, it's heavily RPG based for
Is it?
sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just those side content takes a lot of place in the main game loop. And plus, the other thing is that the more I get older, the less I can't do turn-based games anymore. Like when I was a kid, I liked them. I used to like them, but I can't do them anymore for some reason. I get bored. Even though the story might be good, I just can't get into them anymore.
I get it. It just takes too long to complete them, right?
Well, there's a lot of grinding. That's true. That's another thing. Yeah, that bothers
Yeah.
me.
No, I mean like even turn based, like I get it. Like obviously if you were just to keep attacking, you could be a lot quicker than, you take your turn, next person takes their turn. Sorry. Yeah, so there was those ones. And then like I said, the other one was Metal Gear. I still need to try out that series actually. To have a proper opinion on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Kojima. I have to say, like the gameplay of it is fine, but the whole writing of it, there's just I can't deal with it for some reason.
Yeah, like I know people always hype that game up, right? But then when you ask them to explain the story to you, they go, "Oh, that's the best part. It's so complicated." It's like, well, how is that the best part? Like, give me some idea what the story's about.
Well, the problem is it's not necessarily the story. I find it's more how everything is done and written. The narrative, the dialogue, the weird references. Like if you play, let's say, Death Stranding, there are, at some point you go to fight a boss and it becomes a fighting game, literally a fighting game. So it takes you out of the whole universe and story, and there's all sorts of weird stuff like that that I don't particularly like. I don't like the how he does things.
I get that.
Although I'm always interested when I hear there's a project of him, I'm always interested to see what it's about. But there's just something with the weirdness of his writing that I just can't get into it.
I get it. You like his imagination, but just not the actual story telling.
Yeah, exactly. I wish there was someone to not edit him per se, but to be able to contain that imagination and put it into something better.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's another one too. Actually, yeah, I'm sure I'll be able to try that one. I think that was PS4, Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Like just like even when I say like try, it might only be like a couple hours, but I just want to actually like experience the game and see how it
Well,
feels.
I mean, if you want to play something where you just walk around a scenery, I mean, it's there.
Like that's really like what it is, though, right? Like it's mostly just a walking simulator. That one.
I
Yeah.
find it, but
Okay.
I'm not totally against it. I'm a big fan of No Man's Sky, where most of the time you just walk around, find materials on the ground. I think what No Man's Sky does well that Death Stranding was missing for me is in No Man's Sky, there's always something to deal with. You walk around, your oxygen is getting low. You have to use oxygen or find oxygen. Oh, you're using your mining tool. Now this is going getting you have to use carbon, you have to get carbon in some way, or there's always something going on, even though you're just walking around. And I think that's what's missing with Death Stranding, where you would just run around packages. Oh, you see on the map that there's an acid rain, so you either go in it and ruin the stuff you're walking with, or you just go around it. You can take out a ladder to help yourself.
Okay.
I mean, you can find other packages, but they don't really matter. Unless you want to have better points, which the points don't matter again. So,
Okay.
but of course, later on down the road, there are more stuff. There are camps of enemies that you need to stealth through and stuff like that. But I know, but like I said, it gets boring. The bosses, they're not fun. You just throw mason jars of piss at them, basically. I'm not joking.
Wow.
Like it's literal piss, because there's a sort of enzyme in it that is not good for the monster enemies. So.
Oh, okay. That's so
You have
creepy.
long shots of Norman Reedus taking a shower. Very long, pretentious shots. I guess that's something I also dislike of how he does things. Very long, pretentious shots that does nothing.
Yeah. Building up the hype for no reason.
I was disappointed because it was his first project that wasn't linked to Metal Gear, so I was like, "No, this is going to be interesting." Plus the imagery they were showing, I was like, "Okay, this looks cool." It could be interesting, but no, it wasn't. Because once you get those piss jars, then because there are zones where there's like enemy ghosts type of thing that they were scary, and that you needed to walk around and be silent and whatever. But once you get those piss jars, you just throw it at them and they're gone. So it just makes everything just ruins the mood, really.
I know.
I think that's the best way I can describe actually Death Stranding. Once there's something established, the mood will be ruined by something else later on. For example, it's all about running around, but once you get late game, there's a way where you can just zip line across stuff, which makes the running around useless.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
So it keeps ruining its own mood, and there's not enough to do, I find, during the going from point A to point B, compared to, let's say, like I said, No Man's Sky. They're not the same game at all, but I find they somehow find a way to grip you by going, okay, I'm gonna go from A to B, and then during that way you're like, oh shit, I need to recharge my tool, I need to recharge my oxygen. Oh, I found this along the way. Well, that's interesting, and there's something missing with Death Stranding in that way, if it makes sense.
No, it does. I was gonna say, I like the way you phrased it there. Like after whatever it was, five or I think it was 5 Metal Gear games. To start like a whole new journey and adventure, right? I can't remember the fine details at all, but it was definitely a huge missed opportunity that Death Stranding became that project, and it wasn't the demo that you were talking about earlier, PT.
Oh yeah.
Like,
for
can
sure.
you imagine if that was the next launch title? Like, he would have been sailing. Like, I mean, that demo alone was just so praised, right? So
yeah, I would have bought it day one.
Yeah.
Compared to Death Stranding.
Exactly. Yeah, like Death Stranding would have been a great like third game, to follow that rhythm. Yeah.
And I'm sort of disappointed actually that he's doing a second Death Stranding. I was sort of hoping for another new project that I wouldn't know exactly what it would be about. So.
Like, see, okay, that's the thing I'm confused on. Like, it's been a while now. Like, why can't he still do that PT project? Like, you had a good idea with a game. Like, Like, like make it happen, dude. Like,
He could. He could. That's
yeah,
that's all he could.
yeah.
I don't know.
Like I know there was stuff behind there. I remember way back then when that article was being talked about that there was a reason why it couldn't be done. But like after a while, I'm sure there are.
No. They could have just don't name it Silent Hill. Change a couple of names, but and it works.
Oh, okay.
Because it was Konami. When he was with Konami, PT. He was doing PT, which is the Silent Hill brand, which is why you wouldn't be able to do it.
Oh, because
But I
that's all it
mean,
was. Okay.
well, from as far as I know, I might be missing some details. So he would. I mean, he could still. I mean, he can't take the things that he did there, bring it to his workplace, and work on it. He would have needed to start from scratch. But you could have still done the same thing, the same style.
Yeah, just make a horror game. Like just take your approach on what you think a horror game should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Would have missed out.
But oh well, it is what it is. And now we got Death Stranding 2 coming up.
Exactly. This is the world we live in.
I'm I'm sort of disappointed that he's doing a sequel already. I thought like a Death Stranding sequel would have, I don't know, after one or totally different game. Sort of disappointed that this, he started this whole studio. He does one game and then he continues the sequel of that one game.
Yeah, like that was the other thing. I didn't want to be mean about it right towards the guy. I mean, again, he's got a vision, but it's like you were literally complaining about how you're like stuck, with a company that's holding you back and all this stuff, and then, like you just said, like you get released, you start your studio up, and what do? You stick with a new project and you just grind it out again, like. Like if you make it, I don't know, if you made it sound like he was really being, held back his potential, like, okay, let's see that potential then, like pop out a few different games.
Oh, his potential is, I guess, is just making Norman Reedus run around America.
Apparently, yeah.
But can't remember what I wanted to say. Oh, no, I guess he's too occupied doing this podcast about himself. So
yeah, I just listened to the Super Show talking about that one.
I just think he's a super pretentious dude.
Yeah, like I was like, damn man, really? Like,
and I think people excuse it because of whatever vision they're able to get on board with.
and I almost wonder
But
too if it's like, is it just cool to like him, or do people actually like the guy? You know what I mean?
I think he has, a cult following, but I think there are a lot of more people saying he's cool and that it's such strange what he does and all that, just because their friend maybe is into it. I'll take the Evil Dead for example. Evil Dead is a cult classic today, but when it came out, it was just this small horror film. I don't think it was a wide success or anything. Same thing for Blade Runner. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think today, people will see it, some people talking about it online or make a big deal out of it, and they'll get on board with it, because this popular YouTuber streamer, or I've been hearing a lot about it. I feel left out, so I'm into it.
That's so true. That's like I don't know if you remember this or not, but like back when you go in school and like let's say one of the someone that wouldn't listen to this kind of music is wearing like a Nirvana T-shirt or a Metallica,
Yeah.
and you'd be like, "Oh yeah, can you name a song?" And it's like, "No."
Yeah, my sister did that with Star Wars.
Oh really?
She had like Star Wars shirt, but she didn't watch, I think, any of them, or barely watch the one. And I think she might have seen one or two, but she didn't watch like all of them or anything.
Yeah. Wearing it just for the fame.
Well, not necessarily. It's just pop culture now.
Yeah,
And
it's iconic, as they say.
yeah, it's become iconic. But I think Kojima, I think he has a loud cult following, and then some people don't understand it, but they'll say, "Oh yeah, no, it's cool," even though I don't understand it.
Oh, totally. Like I said, same idea, right? Like you could ask some of those people, okay, do you play Metal Gear game? And he'd be like, no. It's like, well, then how do you know he's such a visionary?
Yeah. Oh well, everybody says. Okay.
um, I posted a long time ago, not to get off track, but there were, if you like The Offspring, I don't know if you're a fan of them or not. They
Vaguely said something to me. What's the Offspring?
they're like a '90s punk rock band.
Right. Okay.
But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, they did a podcast recently, and it was actually really cool. I finally got a chance to listen to it yesterday and today. And yeah, which is it's just on that whole music topic. Yeah, they had a whole bunch of like past band stories. I guess it was kind of what I wanted, out of their podcast. Like I had a vision. I was like, hey, please don't discuss current topics. Don't be one of those people. Like just stick with what you guys, are known
Oh
for.
yeah, I did my balcony on my porch the other day, and
Yeah, like I didn't want to hear their views on how Biden's running the country or something ridiculous. Like I was like, you guys are rockers. Like I just want to hear rock stories, and that's exactly what they delivered. From what I understand,
oh cool.
what I understand, they're going to bring on a different guest every time, and they're just going to like shoot the poop about each other's past. Like there's one, for example, where a guy was telling the story about how he made it into an elephant cage one night and just partied with a bunch of elephants, like actual elephants. Yeah, so it's those kind of ridiculous, like rock star stories that you're like, okay, yeah, I like
Sounds
this.
like the Babylon movie.
Yeah, like that, or what was the other one that did it really well? Oh shit, The Dirt. They did that one pretty good too. Just if you're a fan of The Offspring, or if you just want to hear some old fogies now tell their drinking stories, I thought that was a pretty good one. I was pretty impressed with
Cool. I'll check it out during work.
it. um, yeah. So I think I took care of pretty much all the story and walking games. And then as you said, the other two games, I mean, you guys have hyped them up enough to me, and was it 2 more days? I'll get the honor of finally trying out God of War and The Last of Us. Control as well. That one I know you hyped up for me. Um, yeah, I think those are the three big ones definitely for that stream that I'll be playing. That was the most excited to try. Yeah.
No. Now you said Control, it made me think of Alan Wake 2. I can't wait for that game to come out. Like I say, Final Fantasy 16 is my game of the year. I'll have to wait till Alan Wake 2 comes out. It might, big fan of Remedy games, so
Yeah, no,
we'll see.
I don't blame you. Like I said, I definitely enjoyed the first Alan Wake, and I think the one I got was some PlayStation Plus. I think that was the remaster, so it'd be kind of neat just to see, if it's just upgraded graphics, that's cool too. But if they changed anything, I'll be interested to find out.
No, it's just upgraded graphics. Yeah,
Is it okay?
I have it on PC. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be fun to revisit that story. Oh, and Spider-Man. That was the other game too that I'm excited to try out for the first time.
Oh, true. It comes out this year. I forgot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is coming out. That's right.
Well, it comes out around the same time as Alan Wake 2, so I won't get it. If I have to make a choice, it's Alan Wake 2 I'm getting. So.
Oh yeah, no, I totally understand that. Like I said, it's even been a longer wait for another Alan Wake game.
Oh yeah. I mean, Control. Without spoiling too much, Control sorts of teases Alan Wake to Alan Wake's return with its DLC. So there was interesting content. Like it seems that Control and Alan Wake are somewhat linked. So.
That's cool.
Can't wait to see if there's something with Jesse Faden in Alan Wake 2 and what's going to happen and all that.
I see. Did you ever okay, what was it? I think it was on the 360 I saw this title. It was Alan Wake's American Nightmare. Is that one tied into the actual series, or is that just someone else's spin-off?
No, tie-in. It's a DLC of Alan Wake.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, I wouldn't say it's necessarily the most important part of the universe and story and all that, but it's still an interesting thing to go through.
Like it's a lot different, than like actual Alan Wake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Because yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that in the description. It was more like action or whatever.
Yeah. Well, like I say, well, it's hard to say anything without spoiling. So
No,
I'm
totally
just gonna
understand.
say yes.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, those are the ones I'm definitely excited for. All right, well, you know what, Jesse, looks like it's you and me. So, the only question I had for you guys this week was I just wanted to hear if there was any, exciting birthday stories you want to talk about. Seeing that mine's coming up, I figured we'd celebrate a little bit and hear about some of your guys's. Whether it was just a present you got that you were really hyped up for, or a birthday party itself that you felt was one that was worth remembering.
I'm not much of a party guy, so I don't necessarily have debauchery to recount or anything. But there is one specific one that I like because I duped everyone. I told everyone to dress super well because it's my birthday and we're gonna go to this fancy restaurant and all that. And we ended up going to an AW, all dressed up and with all sorts of uh, items to celebrate and stuff. Everybody was looking at us weird and all that.
That's
Um,
good though. That's clever.
yeah, no, I thought it was really funny because I'm not fancy on food. I don't. The fanciness of food just pisses me off. You pay like $60 to $100, and then all you get is like this small sort of, I don't know, a small ball of something that
Yep,
you're still hungry afterwards.
so
So
true.
there's nothing better than a good burger, really. So I went there at the time because at the time I was in I wasn't in the city. I was outside the city, and in the city there are better choices. I have to say for burgers than A&W, but at the time it was fine as it was. But yeah, no, that's my story. Just getting everyone dressed up to go to a cheap fast food restaurant. I thought it was hilarious at the time.
That is really clever. I like that one. um, yeah, it's a good one.
Do you have any?
Yeah, I was gonna say like I have a few birthday ones for either or good or bad that were worth remembering. But I guess the big ones would definitely be grade 1 and 2. Always stick out to me. I don't know if you had one in Quebec or not, or if it was just a Manitoba thing. But we have what do you want to call it? A carnival, a theme park? Yeah, theme park called Tinkertown, and it basically had like roller coasters in it, and the whirlies. It also had like I guess kind of like a toddler section as well too. So there was like castles to climb. There was little boats you could sit in that go around over and over again very slowly. But there was also like the teenage section, like I was saying, where you had like the spinny rides and you had the crazy ass roller coasters, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
well, in Quebec it's La Ronde, in Montreal that
oh,
has all sorts of activities and all that.
okay, perfect. Okay, yeah. So you guys had something similar. Like ours were, if I left Winnipeg, the city I'm in, and we go outskirts, that's where you'd find it. So it was kind of funny. You either had Tinkertown as your choice, and I must have been like maybe 5 miles separate. Like it was pretty close together. There was this huge ass water park called Splash Zone, I think it was called. No, Fun Mountain. Fun Mountain, that's what it was called. So you had either option you could pick. But anyway, so my mom, for the last grade 1, grade 2, took my entire class there, and she did this right just so I could make friends. Like literally, just a shy ass kid. It was way more of a cost, I'm sure, than she could afford. She'll ever tell me to this day. But yeah, she literally invited the whole class, and it worked. It worked exactly the way she wanted to. I remember I became like super popular in grade 2 because everyone was just talking about this crazy ass birthday party that she threw. And then yeah, grade 2 to grade 3, same idea. And then after that, I guess the reality of the cost kicked in. We didn't go that far out, but yeah, those first 2 years were a hell of a birthday, and also a hell of a job for her. I mean, she had to look after whatever it was 20 kids running around a park, which I think is just herself, and maybe she had a few other parents helping with supervision. But yeah, I mean that was a lot to look after for a couple of hours.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
I actually remember one of my uh, birthday parties in high school. My friends had made pot brownies, and I ate them while drinking them. So
Oh.
afterwards, well, I wasn't aware at first there was pot in it. I mean, they told me, but I don't know. I sort of forgot, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I took both, and all sorts of stuff happened, I guess. I became friends with a plant, and I became somehow better at ping pong.
That's awesome.
Like it shouldn't be a thing, drinking and getting better at ping pong because you swirl, but it was better for some reason.
It is
It
true though,
was
eh?
just mad fun, really. And the night with watching a couple episodes of the Claymore anime.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
there was actually my friend that he was passed out, but we would throw Skittles at his head, and without looking, he was passed out without looking. His body was just automatically place them in a perfect line in front of him. It was super creepy, but we kept throwing Skittles at him, and he kept doing it. Super weird.
That's so cool.
Actually, there was another friend I remember that he was crying because we didn't have any peanuts or something, or we wanted to put peanuts in a bowl, but he didn't have the right bowl or something. Anyway, that was probably the biggest debauchery night, if there was one.
That's really good though. I love those kind of stories.
Yeah.
I remember when I was hanging with my friends, they did what was that illegal one? Legal, sorry, one we can have now. Salvia, I think it was called. But anyway,
Oh, it's legal?
well, back then it was, I guess. Hopefully, I mean.
Oh yeah, not anymore, right? That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is like, oh man, I was like 18 at that time, so this is way, way back. But anyway, yeah, they took one, and I remember watching my friend, and he's like, whatever, 5 or 10 minutes of just calmness, and then he's like, I gotta go, and I was like, oh, okay, sure. And I didn't know where he went off to until later on. My other friend I was watching, he was just like feeling the chairs, right? He's all funky, and I was like, okay, you're definitely feeling it. I'm gonna go check on the other guy, make sure he's okay. I was kind of like their babysitter, and then I got to him, and he was in his bedroom, and all he was doing was just rolling back and forth on his bed. And I was like, like, what are you doing, man? Like, what's going on? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, but I'm a book, and right now I'm flipping through the pages, reading everything. And I was like, holy hell! Like your mind right now is in a totally different place.
Jesus.
Yeah, like afterwards they came out, right? They could do it was that kind of drug where they were able to actually explain to me in detail everything. And yeah, he told me about the book that he was in, and he was living through it. I said, like, were you actually like, could you see the story? And he's like, no, what I felt was like all the words on me. Like I actually felt like a page being turned, and he was like, I could see everything written on me. And I was like, wow, like that's pretty crazy.
So what was the story?
I don't even know. I can't remember now. I remember he was just telling me like he could just see the words. He could. I don't think we got to that topic, but it was just more of the experience that he felt, right, as being the page being turned over, and then finally the cover of the book closing. For myself, though, I was gonna say the only embarrassing birthday party I ever had was when I first turned 18. I never drank. I never did anything like that. I kept my promise to my mom. She's like, "Don't do it till you're 18." I was like, "Okay." Might as well be good boy or something. So that was my promise I stuck with. And then yeah, I went to the bar, and of course my friends take me to like the dirtiest bar ever. It was it's just like a local little town bar. They had strippers every, I think it was every Thursday night. So that was the night, of course, we went on, right? And
Yeah.
yeah,
Or-
it just escalated from like them giving me a few shots. It wasn't the end of the world. And then obviously it's, like I said, small town bar, so obviously all the other high school graduates were there too, right? Celebrating. It was that first summer we all passed, and bullies or people I've never talked to, anyone, they catch, oh, hey, man, I haven't seen you forever. Let's buy you a drink. So by the end of it, I had quite a few drinks. Mind you, not as much as one girl, unfortunately. She had way too many, and she ended up actually going on stage and joining the strippers, which was, yeah, we
Oh.
were like, oh my God, poor lady. Um, but yeah, anyway, it came to the point where I guess I got so drunk, and I knew I was drunk. So I ended up stumbling to the bathroom, and I shut the stall, went in there, kind of tried to get my bearings. I guess that never happened, and I just passed out. And the I remember I next thing I heard was the banging on the stall, and the guy's like, the bouncer was like, okay, hey man, I need you to get up. And then obviously just saw that I was like, this scrawny little nothing, sweating to death, puking his brains out. So he was like, do you have anyone? And I was like, I don't know anybody. And then it came to the point, I think, where he got me out of the bathroom, he got me outside. He's like, you need a ride, you need something. And I was like, fuck it, call my mother. I had them call my mom down, right? The people I was with eventually found me, right? And I remember one of the girls there, it was a cold night, so she lent me her jacket. So I had this like big fur jacket on as well, right? Lady size. And yeah, and I saw my mom rolling up, and everyone was cheering her on, going, "Hey, your son made it!" And yeah, threw me into the back seat, and that ended up being like the worst hangover of my life. But it was funny. And going back to that bar, I think I don't know, a week or two later, the bouncer was like, "Yes, we're gonna cut you off. We don't want to have to call your mother again." It just became like an ongoing joke every time we went there. Yeah. So I want to say I'm sorry, Sleepy. It looks like Restream crashed at this point, and we lost out on your birthday story. I'm really sorry about that. Hopefully, when you come back on again as a guest, we could retell that story for those that would like to hear it. She had a really funny one, and yeah, I'm not really sure how that happened because I was watching it. I don't remember my phone showing the crash. Of course, it had to happen right at the last 10 to 15 minutes of the podcast, right? But hopefully, you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry it took so long to put this together. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I think this is some of my best work. Like I'm pretty satisfied with how this turned out, despite the fact that it took 2 weeks to put together. But I think this was pretty good as far as the YouTube version goes. The podcast on Spotify, you're not really gonna notice anything different, minus these little points where I talk to you guys. But if you're watching on YouTube, please let me know what you guys think. Give me any thoughts or comments. Unfortunately, I can only screen record 10 videos at a time with the program that I'm using. So that's why you might be going, why do you use so many photos instead of just more videos? That'd be why. Unless I want to pay, I think it was like $10 a month. I can't record more than 10. Again, I'm using the Chromebook, right? So programs are kind of limited to me. But this all worked out pretty good for what I was trying to accomplish, and I think I picked the 10 best videos to place in this video. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you enjoy the next one. I will be working